You're listening to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Welcome back to the last few minutes of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. I promised that I would finish the show talking a little bit about rent-to-own scenarios. I had somebody that asked me this just yesterday, and I've had a few others this year. So let me just take a little time and explain this to you. So let's say that you can't afford to buy a house. You have some poor credit. You need to work on a down payment, whatever the case might be. You see a house that's listed by a rent-to-own company. You get excited. And so you like the fact that you're not just throwing money at a rental. You're moving into a home that you'll one day own. Plus, a portion of your payment can go toward the equity you have in the house while you're waiting to either, save that down payment or wait for your credit score to improve. And it sounds great. And you negotiate up front these deals. So you need to understand what's in store for you. First of all, there are two types of contracts. There's a lease option and a lease purchase agreement. You're going to either pay to have the option to buy it, or you are legally agreeing to buy it at some point in the future, and you're just renting it until you can buy it. Here's the challenge. There's no standardized contract for these types of deals, which is what can make them so tricky. But they're going to include things like, monthly rent and maintenance, who maintains it. If you have an option to buy it, how much is that going to cost you? The length of the lease, the closing date, financing, inspection, so on and so forth, just like all your standardized South Carolina purchase and sale agreements go. But unfortunately, rent-to-own agreements are much less regulated. So here's what you need to know. Here are the pros and cons really quickly. The pros are that you get to lock in a price now in a market where prices are still going up. You can avoid competition, right? Because you're under contract to buy the house. You're just renting it for a defined period of time until you buy it. You can build equity in the property, rather than just coming to the table with a large down payment to buy it up front. You can buy yourself some time to improve your credit or increase your down payment. And your payments can be used to improve your credit score, by the way. And you don't have to move into another home. But the cons are this. The option money that you put up is non-refundable. The other thing that could happen is values could go down. The market could shift. There could be some sort of unforeseeable issue that arises. Maybe you lose your job. You're in poor health. That could cause you to lose your option money if you can't move forward with the purchase in a preset amount of time. You could find out that you just don't want to live there. You want to be in a different location. You want to live in a different house. You might have to maintain the property yourself, which in one instance, you're like, okay, well, I've got pride of ownership, which is great for the owner, but you're the one paying for the maintenance that usually a tenant is not responsible for doing, which is why the contract favors the seller so much in these scenarios. So here's my honest opinion. Just wait. Buy it right. Let us help you through that process. In my opinion, rent to own is not the way to go. And I'm happy to talk to anybody that has any questions about that. My number is 400-8009, 843-400-8009, or visit us online at listingsincharleston.com. Thanks so much for listening to the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA, and have a great weekend.
Join us for another edition of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show next Saturday morning at 9 and Sunday morning at 10. Contact Brian Beatty online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or call him at 843-345-1273. 843-345-1273.